Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with BNEWS reporters Chris Flaherty, Tad Stefanak, Robert Paris, Ferris Conley, and Alita Charbonneau, Juliana McGrane with sports, and Gretchen Carey with the community calendar. Thank you for joining us. Wednesday afternoon was a big day for the BHS marching band members and staff when they participated in Harvard's annual Hasty Pudding Parade in Cambridge. BNEWS reporter Robert Paris has this story.
The Burlington High School marching band performed in Harvard's Hasty Pudding Woman of the Year parade, featuring British actress and star of Wicked, Cynthia Erivo. Marching band director Fadine Satirial and Tim Ketterer, director of bands, couldn't believe how great the experience was.
I think the highlight of it was the kids actually seeing Cynthia.
Yeah.
As, you know, seeing her waving. We've got some great footage of her, like, looking at the camera and stuff like that. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, and getting up and close with the Blue Man group, too, is also a highlight for the kids. So
they were literally going in between us, and they were throwing the confetti and the crepe paper, and it was, like, wrapping all over us. And the crowd was great.
Yeah.
And they actually liked when we played Dancing Through Life, and we played Defying Gravity, and everybody was cheering and everything.
Singing with
they were singing too.
Yeah.
It was a very short notice for everyone, as they were asked a week prior to the event.
Kind of last minute, we scoured, we figured out who the Woman of the Year was going to be, and then we scoured and tried to find music that represented her. So gratefully she was from Wicked, so we could get some Wicked music. And then we had to scramble and throw together about 3 rehearsals to get the music learned, memorized, and on the move.
A number of band members told me about what it was like marching down Harvard Street.
Interacting with the crowd because, like, I just loved the signs that they held up.
There was a lot of energy today from the entire band as a whole, from the 8th graders that we had come in from the Marshall Simons Middle School. They came over here to the high school for a bit to get prepped here. And even then, it's just amazing amount of energy from every single member of this band. Really excited for this, like, new opportunity we've never really had before.
It was pretty awesome. We had the Blue Man group escorting us the whole parade. It was kind of awesome. They had like confetti cannons. It was cool.
We did pretty well. We stayed in formation and had a fun time.
I mean, the experience itself, it was great. We were sat like almost right in front of the Blue Man group, so just randomly while we were playing, they would just spray TP guns. They would hit us. It was just a great time.
Parades are fun in general, and the fact that I'm able to march in another one is always great.
It's a great experience to seeing all like the different groups there and being in the middle of such a big parade.
What made this even better is that they will be performing at Harvard next year.
They've asked us to come back. Really? And do this as an annual thing.
Yes.
So they enjoyed having us, and we had such a great time that the parade coordinator said, "You guys want to do this again? You guys were so great." And we said, "Absolutely."
From Burlington High School, I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Weekly.
The 3rd annual Burlington Public Schools Climate Survey, designed to identify how students, parents, guardians, and school staff perceive the culture of the schools, showed a positive view of the schools and growth from a year ago. The climate survey looks for the areas in the school environment that are finding success and those in need of improvement. Christine Concession, District Director of Mental Health, presented the results of the school committee to the school committee at their January 28th meeting. The survey showed substantial interest in school safety by parents and guardians, which the district had focused on and shown strong growth from 2023 to 2024. BPS has established a district-wide school safety committee and put in proactive and preventative measures for students and staff, as well as maintaining a strong relationship with Burlington Police. Another area that saw advancement is parent involvement, an additional item the schools chose to focus on from 2023. Increased opportunities for parent engagement included well-attended bi-monthly virtual lunch and learn. Curriculum nights have contributed to parent communication, and the district has hired a full-time director of family and community engagement. You can find a link to the full results from the 2024 survey on our website. Regis College and the town of Burlington have announced a new partnership that will support town employees with unique development programs, employee recruitment through access to Regis graduates, collaboration opportunities with Regis faculty on product development and research, discounted tuition rates, and use of Regis campus facilities. The Town of Burlington Human Resources Director Joanne Faust said Regis offers many degree programs that align with our employees' professional aspirations. Our employees are our greatest asset, and we always endeavor to provide opportunities for them to grow in their careers. This agreement will offer various educational benefits to town employees and their families, including discounted tuition for Regis Online and hybrid degree programs, a flexible transfer policy for adult degree completion, and customized academic consulting to support professional development and corporate goals. Regis may also recruit Burlington teachers as adjunct instructors, and both parties will promote programs through co-branded marketing materials. The Burlington Sculpture Park Committee has recently undergone a name change, and BNews reporter Varys Conley has this story.
So what are they going to call it? The Burlington Public Arts Committee.
The Burlington Sculpture Park Committee has recently undergone a name change.
Until very recently, it was the Burlington Sculpture Park Committee, and that was formed actually as a result of the master plan process. Through that process, we learned that there was a desire in town for more art. John Sachs, who was the founder of the Sculpture Park, came up with the idea for a sculpture park. The committee was formed in 2019, and we had our first exhibit in the summer of 2020, right at the height of the pandemic. Everybody was stuck at home with nothing to do, and maybe it would be nice for them to have somewhere to go and look at some outside art. One thing that's very unusual about this committee is that it really does draw from a lot of different groups in town. So it's a 7-member committee. We can hear from all these different areas of town of what works and what doesn't and what people want to see. But we all go back and talk to our own boards and our own constituencies, and we find out what the people of Burlington want before we move forward.
With public art around the town becoming more and more realized, what can we expect for the future of the Public Arts Committee?
Some of the things we want to explore include murals, the electrical boxes in town painted, the ones that are on municipal property. We also want to explore some community arts projects where many members of the community collaborate together to create art. The temporary pig exhibit on the Common last year was to test out how it would work, having sculptures on the Common. That was not the only reason we did it. It was a fundraiser, but one of the other reasons was to see how did people feel about having sculptures on the Common. For the most part, the program was very well received. So I'm really happy with how the community has embraced the sculpture park. The idea is just to extend artwork out into the community. The sculpture park is great, but it's small and it's kind of tucked away. One of the nice things about the temporary pig exhibit was that at the end of that, the pigs went out into the community, and you can see them when you drive around town. We have a map online. People can go and download the map, and they can drive around town and visit the pigs. And it would be nice if in the future there are other sculptures around town that people can see.
Be sure to keep an eye out for more public arts projects in the coming months. This is Varys Connolly from BNews.
HYKU Biosciences is preparing to open doors on a new laboratory, expanding the number of biotech companies operating in Burlington. Kathy Dunsmore and Andrea Zuhl were before the Board of Health at their January 28th meeting requesting a biological safety permit for HYKU's new facility located at 5 Burlington Woods Drive. HYKU was founded in 2023, originally located in Lexington, and recently moved to Burlington. Per their website, the company is devoted to pioneering precise covalent targeting of disease-causing proteins and transforming conventional treatment paradigms. Zuhl explained that their goal is to discover new medicines for cancer by studying and testing specific parts of the body that are known to be important to cancer. Dunsmore and Zuhl gave a brief overview of their new facility in Burlington to the board, which will be 40% office space and 60% lab space. The Board of Health unanimously approved their biological safety permit. You can find a link to their full presentation on the BCAT website. The winter weather can increase your chances of an injury as a result of a fall. In the latest segment of BNews Health and Fitness, Dr. Calvin A. Brown, Chair of Emergency Medicine at Leahy Hospital and Medical Center, has expert advice on staying upright outdoors and in the home.
The slick, wintry weather is here, increasing your chances for a fall. BNews spoke with the Chair, Emergency Medicine, Leahy Hospital and Medical Center.
When outside in the winter, you want to make sure that surfaces are treated. So if there's a chance that surfaces are slippery, you want to make sure that they have sand or de-icer or salt, just to make sure that any ice that is there has been taken care of. You want to make sure if you need assistance, always ask for it, whether it be ambulatory assistance with a cane or a walker. If there's a handrail, make sure that you can reach it and you definitely use it, or even another person. Ice, snow, slush, surfaces that don't even appear slippery at first can be dangerous, and so don't ever take anything for granted. Even if a particular surface doesn't look like it's obviously icy, always test it out, be cautious before getting onto a new surface. The ice there can be deceptive. In the home, it's crucial, and there's a lot of things that you have control over. So, number one, make sure that your environment is clutter-free. That's the most important thing. Make sure that loose rugs are adhered to the ground and fixed as much as possible. You want to eliminate as much as possible cords and other low-hanging, ankle-level type of trip hazards. Be cautious of pets. Make sure that they're not running around your feet. They're tangling your feet with leashes and other things of that nature, and make sure that any spills are immediately picked up. Wet surfaces, of course, particularly on finished hardwood floors, are deceptively slippery and can lend people to fall. So unfortunately, falls can both cause minor injury and major injury. And so we see a wide array of traumatic injuries from falls that include minor closed head injuries, major closed head injuries, lacerations of the face, scalp, and extremities. We also see a variety of different long bone fractures, including forearm fractures, hip fractures, shoulder injuries, and dislocations. Not everyone who hits their head needs to come to the hospital, and not everyone who hits their head needs to call for an ambulance. However, there are certain things that if these happen, or you're on certain medications, you'll definitely want to call an ambulance to bring you to the hospital. So number one, if you fall and hit your head hard enough that you lose consciousness or you don't remember the event, that's a reason why you'd want to get checked out. If you are on blood thinning medicines, very common medications that thin your blood to prevent clots, can also lend themselves to bleeding. So hitting your head on a hard surface on a blood thinning medication often means you should go to the hospital to get checked out. If you have severe headache, if you feel confused, or you've been vomiting at home, all of those are generally accepted triggers to bring yourself to a hospital for an evaluation.
Burlington Womenade, a nonprofit dedicated to helping local families in need, is shutting down. The Board of Directors announced the news on the Burlington Womenade website and Facebook page Wednesday morning. Since 2011, Burlington Womenade has raised over $325,000 in support of 267 local families in need through fundraising events and the generosity of local business and community members. Our dedicated volunteer board is incredibly proud of what we have accomplished together, writes the board. While this chapter is coming to an end, we know that Burlington remains in good hands with the many wonderful nonprofit organizations that continue to serve our community. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you for your unwavering support. We could not have done this without you. Very sorry to see them go. Customers of Wegmans Food Market stores raised more than $2.5 million during the company's fall 2024 Hunger Relief Checkout Scanning Campaign, known as Checkout Hunger. This campaign allows customers to donate any amount at a checkout, with 100% of the proceeds going to each store's local Feeding America food bank partner. The 2024 company-wide campaign ran for just over a month last fall. Customers' donations stay in their local community, with all proceeds going to each store's local food bank. Locally, the Burlington Wegmans, along with the Chestnut Hill, Medford, and Westwood stores, raised $79,361 for the Greater Boston Food Bank. Since its inception over 30 years ago, Wegmans' Checkout Hunger campaign has raised more than $55 million for hunger relief. Wendy Pavlicek and Sean Musselman of the Burlington Science Center have brought back live with their live interactive educational science shows, teaching Burlington's elementary students about the different forces of nature. BNEWS reporter Alita Charbonneau has the story.
Recently, the Burlington Science Center returned to performing their live science stage shows at Burlington elementary schools. Everyone had a great time while learning about science. We spoke to Mr. Musselman and Miss P after their awesome performance at Francis Wyman Elementary.
It was great. It definitely takes some time and planning and thought process, and I know Sean and I really wanted to connect it to the science curriculum and to students' everyday lives, and then still hold true to the science demonstrations that have been done at the Science Center for many years.
You know, the Science Center has a long history of doing these kinds of special programs, but they were obviously kind of put on hiatus in the year of the pandemic and subsequent years. So this is sort of an opportunity to brush that dust off and reintroduce them to students who haven't seen them before. It is important to note that we have changed those curriculum over the years. The rocket car is an example of that. We mentioned it came out of retirement.
We have one more of these at Memorial, so we do them at all of the elementary schools. That's kind of our only all-school program that we're doing this year, and then we go back to doing our grade level programs and our classroom instruction that we do with the K-5 science teachers.
One of the wonderful things about the community of Burlington is its ongoing support of the Burlington Science Center and the sciences at large. Burlington Science Center is a little bit of a unicorn, not to overuse the term, but there's not a lot of places like it. There's a lot of communities that invest in people like Wendy and I who support science in their elementary classrooms, and I'm just grateful to be a part of that.
From Francis Wyman Elementary School, I'm BNews volunteer reporter Alita Charbonneau.
There's no shortage of talented musicians in the Burlington community, and Goodnight Johnny's Music Bar is looking for the best of the best in their first ever Goodnight Johnny's Idol competition starting February 16. BNews Entertainment reporter Chris Flaherty has this look.
Goodnight Johnny's Music Bar has become a hot spot in Burlington since its doors opened just over a year ago. Now, Goodnight Johnny's has put out the call for all local singers to enter their first ever Goodnight Johnny's Idol competition.
We actually came up with the idea a few years back when I ran a competition in the city of Woburn. It was the original, and it attracted people from all over Woburn. And in this instance, as far as Burlington is concerned, it will be the people from Burlington as well as the surrounding communities.
The competition will run Sunday evenings from 4 to 7, starting February 16th and concluding April 6th, with divisions for elementary, middle, and high school performers, as well as an open division.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have some great prizes, and we're also going to award several people that win their age divisions a recording session at Mixed Emotions. They're located in Middleton.
Goodnight Johnny's hopes their Idol competition will enforce their mission to bring the community together through good food and good music.
John Tebow has basically come out here, and he's created something where he wants to combine music with food, and I think he's doing a great job. And with the Idol competition, we feel this is just going to put that cherry on the top, so you get that food reference along with the music reference. And the goal, again, is to make music really, really big in the town of Burlington.
Until next time, this is Chris Flaherty with your Entertainment Buzz.
It's a new month, and BHS athletes are hard at work as the regular winter season nears an end. BNEWS Sports reporter Juliana McGrain has our weekly roundup on all the Red Devil action right after we take a look at the community calendar with Gretchen Carey.
Hey everyone, I'm Gretchen Carey, and this is your community calendar. The Burlington Parks and Recreation Department will be having a Valentine's Day coloring contest. Stop by the Burlington Parks and Recreation office at 61 Center Street to pick up a coloring sheet. On February 15th from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., the Burlington Public Library will be having an event called Read to a Therapy Dog for kids. Pre-registration is required. For more information and to register, go to the library website. Through March 8th, donate prom dresses to high school students who could not otherwise attend their school's prom. Drop-off locations are at True North Elite Realty Experts and Moore Law. For more community calendar events, go to bcattv.org, burlingtonpubliclibrary.org, and burlingtonrecreation.org. I'm Gretchen Carey, and that was your community calendar.
Hi, I'm Amy Poehler, and you're watching BCAT. Go Red Devils!
Hey everyone, I'm Julianne McGrain, and this is your weekly sports report. Both basketball teams were on the road against Watertown last Friday night. The girls lost in a heartbreaker of 50-52 after 2 overtime periods. Top scorers in the game were Savannah Scally with 13 points. Marin Jones and Erin Riley both had 10, and Zahara Ochi had 5. The boys also lost 45-57 with top scorers Maddie Gray with 11 points and Jack Mercier with 8. The teams competed with Melrose on the road on February 4th. The girls lost 43-47, which was a very close 4-point matchup. Ava Zakari and Marin Jones scored 9 points each. Erin Riley had 8 and Sophia Marshall had 6. The boys defeated Melrose handedly with a score of 63-48. Top scorers in the game were Maddie Gray with 20 points, Anthony Guerrier with 14, and Chris Sony with 8. In the Middlesex League Freedom Division standings, the girls are third with a record of 9-7, with Watertown in second place at 10-6, and Wakefield in the top at 13-3. In the boys division, they are at the top in the top 10, and in the boys division, they are at the top at 10-5. The second is Watertown at 10-5, and a third is Wilmington at 10-6. The team has won against Watertown earlier this season. Both hockey teams celebrated their senior night ceremonies on February 1st at a home game against Stoneham Spartans. Caitlin Tremblay was the only senior on the girls' team that will be departing this offseason. The girls won in a blowout score of 5-1, with the goals being scored by Emma Striner scoring 3, Sophia Clary and Caitlin Tremblay each had 1. The boys honored seniors Camden Shanahan, Jake Solon, Quinn McDonald, Nolan Jennings, Brady Yutkins, and Sean Torpy. Torpy scored in the 1-0 win against the Spartans. Both teams had games on Wednesday evening, with the girls on the road in Winthrop and the boys hosting at Watertown. The girls had a huge 7-1 win. Emma Steiner scored 5 goals, while Sophia Clary had 2. Caitlin Tremblay notched her 150th career point in the win. Congrats, Caitlin. We were there to catch the action for the boys. 3-0 win against Watertown.
Devils hockey faced off at center ice with the Watertown Red Raiders at the BIP. Burlington played really well in the first period with a goal by James Gordon 1-0. Wyatt Connor and Giacomo Berardinelli each scored a goal in the second period 3-0. The Devils D kept their opponent at bay for the remainder of the game, taking home the shutout victory.
It was a great night for goalie Camden Shanahan as he reached 1,500 career saves. What a great accomplishment. Congrats, Camden. Devils Wrestling competed with Wakefield on January 30th, which was also senior night for Tyler Vandis, Noah Farrow, Noah Nicholson, Vivek Patel, and manager Julia Schwartzman. The team lost 19-50. However, Max Shortman, Cameron Bonal, Noah Farrow, and David Tonani won their matches that evening. The Devils competed in the Capital City Classic last weekend, finishing with 20 wins and coming in 13th place out of 31 teams. You can check out the full results at bcattv.org/sports. Girls and boys indoor track competed in the Middlesex Champion League on February 3rd. Top medalists for the girls' meet were Leela Gilligan, who came in 7th place in both the 55-meter hurdles and the 9.35 and 600-meter sprint at 1 minute and 44 seconds. Ashley DeMartinez came in 6th place in the 2-mile at 12 minutes and 8 seconds, and Cassie Hanlon placed 5th in the shot put throwing at 32 feet and 7 inches. The boys received medals in 3 events. Krish Almeida placed 6th in the mile at 4 minutes and 35 seconds. At the 4x200 relay, placed 5th with a time of 1 minute and 35 seconds, and the 4x400 relay team came in 2nd place at 3 minutes and 35 seconds. The ladies finished in 8th out of 12th place, while the boys came in 8th out of 11th. You can check out the full results at athletic.net. Red Devils Swimming competed in the Big Middlesex League Championship on January 30th. Shea Woodbury made history, creating a new record for BHS, also in the Middlesex League. We featured him on our first edition of the Red Devil Shoutout.
Hey everyone, I'm Rob Paris. We're down here at the Shawshene Valley Tech Pool where we're going to be doing a Red Devil Shoutout. Sophomore Shea Woodbury set a new record in the 100-meter backstroke at 56.36 seconds at the Middlesex League meet. In the event, he was also named the Middlesex League champ.
It was honestly a surprise when I first broke it, but it kind of got more normal as I kept breaking it because it's just like at this point now, it's when I PR in the 100 backstroke, obviously. So, yeah, it's a nice thing to have.
This was a new record set by him previously held at 57.77 seconds back in December, improving almost a full second.
All season, I definitely suffered from fatigue in the 100 back because it was towards the end of the meet. So it was just nice to cut it by like almost a second. So it was pretty nice. Obviously, I found out I was league champ right away, which is amazing, especially as an underclassman. But when I found out later at the meet, it just was surreal.
Head coach Steve Papagno was there as well, preparing Shea for the championships. He said Shea is a great athlete who is competing at the highest level.
I was very excited for him. He's a really great athlete. He's a real good competitor. We had another student who was a year-round student, came from Germany. He's a year-round swimmer, and I liked having him on the team because they pushed each other. But Shea's just the exception to a lot of rules. He was just very, very focused. He was driven. He knew what records what he wanted to do for times. He knew what his personal times were, and he just really endeavored. And shaving off a full second, can't be happier than that for him.
Congratulations, Shea, on breaking your own record and creating a new one in the 100-meter backstroke. This is the BNEWS Sports Red Devil Shoutout.
Girls gymnastics had their final 2 meets of the regular season against Stoneham on January 30th, winning 131 to 122. And Reading on February 5th, the Devils' winning streak came to an end after a heartbreaking loss of 135 to 142 on February 5th against Reading. Burlington finished with a 7-1 regular season record. The team will host the Middlesex League Freedom Division Championship on February 10th. For more Red Devil action, check out our sports section at bcattv.org/sports and follow us on X at BNEWS Sports. That's all for this week. I am Julianne McGrain. Back to you guys in the studio.
The Kansas City Chiefs and Philadelphia Eagles are once again squaring off in the NFL's 59th Super Bowl this Saturday. BNews reporter Robert Paris went around town to find out who everyone is rooting for this Sunday.
Super Bowl 59 is right around the corner, featuring the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles down in New Orleans at Caesars Superdome. I went around town like usual and found out who everybody wants to pick for this year's game.
All right, so I think I was wrong last year, but I'm going to go with Philly this year. And I'm hoping I think it's going to be close, 31-27. I want to see Philadelphia win. I understand why there was so much hate against New England. I have that against KC, nothing personal. Go Philly.
KC, I like Mahomes.
Philadelphia. I don't want to see Kansas do 3 in a row, and I think Barkley is going to be too much for them. So Philadelphia for the win.
All right, we're here at the Burlington Police Department and here with Zuko, search and rescue training dog. And Zuko, let's see you're going to pick KC or Philly. You pick KC!
I'm picking Philadelphia, but I have a feeling KC's going to win.
Kansas City Chiefs, because I'm a Swiftie.
I'm going to go with Philadelphia as well, and the reason being is I can't stand when they compare Patrick Mahomes to Tom Brady.
I like Kansas City because I'm kind of a Swiftie Travis Kelce fan.
I have to go for Philly just because I have family in Philadelphia, and if I don't go for Philly, I'll never be able to visit the city again.
I think the Chiefs are going to win it. Final score 26-20.
Okay, I despise both teams, although I don't want Kansas City or Mahomes to break any of Brady's records. So despite the fact that the Eagle fans are the worst in the country, I'm going to pick the Eagles 35-28.
Kansas City is going to destroy Philadelphia. It's not even going to be a shot. Patrick Mahomes is the GOAT, better than Tom Brady.
Philadelphia, because I want Brady's record to stand for the most Super Bowl wins, so that's my very intellectual, studied reason why I want Philadelphia.
I'm going with Kansas City because I'm still just a big believer of Patrick Mahomes and the Andy Reid combination. Too tough to beat.
Saquon is going to run all over Kansas City and bring them their second Super Bowl.
I would have loved to see a three-peat with Tom Brady, so I'm going to have to go with Philly on this one.
Robert, I like Philadelphia, and I got to tell you, I grew up a huge fan of Rocky, and I think Philadelphia got passionate fans in all sports, and I got to tell you, I think they're being underestimated. They got a really good team this year, and I think they're going to be tough to beat.
31-24 Eagles. Let's go Birds.
I'm going for Philadelphia Eagles, Saquon Barkley, because he proposed to his wife, and I'm loving that.
and redemption from when they lost.
Well, that'll do it for the picks for this year's Super Bowl. I'm Robert Parris, and we all hope you enjoy the game.
Now it's time to take a look at our photo of the week. This week's photo was sent in by Gretchen Carey, which shows Mill Pond with a fresh blanket of snow in the early morning hours. Gretchen calls the photo Mill Pond at daybreak. Thanks for the photo, Gretchen. We'd like to see your photos. The photos could be of something you see around town, whether outside your own door, or even photos of family, friends, and pets. Whatever you think is interesting and would like to share, send them to BCAT@BCAT TV with the subject line Photo of the Week. That's it for this for BNews This Week. We'll wrap up this broadcast with some collage of photos of the BHS marching band's time in the Hasty Pudding Parade. I'm Phil Gallagher. We'll see you next week.